Spawning an enemy, spawning a bullet, spawning a coin. In Godot 4, it's the same 4 lines of code every time. Learn the pattern once, and you'll never Google how to spawn objects in Godot again. Quick, honest heads up before we open the editor. This exact spawn pattern, plus 50 other copy-paste snippets for Godot and Unity, lives in my gamedev starter kit. $19, completely optional, and the link is below. That's the whole pitch. Now, let's spawn some objects in Godot. Here's the entire pattern, and it really is 4 lines. Line 1, preload the scene you want to spawn. That could be an enemy, a bullet, a coin, a particle effect. Anything you saved as a scene file. Line 2, call Instantiate on it. Preload hands you a blueprint. Instantiate stamps out one real, live copy of that blueprint, sitting in memory, ready to use. Line 3, set its position. This is where the spawn object appears in your world. We'll go deep on positioning in a minute. Line 4, add child. Until you add the instance to the scene tree, it exists, but it's invisible and inert. Add child is the moment it comes alive on screen. One more thing worth saying out loud. A scene is a reusable template, you preload it once and instantiate it as many times as you like. One preload, 100 enemies. Each instantiate call gives you a brand new, independent copy with its own position, health, and state. That's it. Preload, instantiate, position, add child. Every enemy wave, every gun, every pickup in every game you'll ever build runs on those same 4 verbs. Burn them into memory. So why preload, and when would you use load instead? They both fetch a scene from disk, but they run at different times. Preload runs when the script first compiles, before the game even starts. The path has to be a fixed string, written right there in the code. In return, the scene is cached and ready instantly, zero hitch when you spawn. Load runs at runtime, the moment that line executes. The big win is that the path can be a variable. Want to spawn a random enemy from a folder of 20? Build the path as a string and hand it to load. Picture it concretely. You've got a folder with enemy_1, enemy_2, all the way up to enemy_20. Pick a random number, build the string, and load resolves whichever file that number points at. Preload simply can't do that, its path is frozen at compile time. Here's the simple rule. If you know the exact scene at code time, preload it. If the scene is chosen while the game runs, load it. Preload for the fixed stuff, load for the dynamic stuff. 90% of the time, preload is what you want. Now the question everyone actually asks, how do I spawn it at a specific position? There are 2 properties, and mixing them up is the #1 spawn bug. Position is local, it's measured from the spawn object's parent. Global position is measured from the world origin, no matter who the parent is. For spawning, you almost always want global position. The clean way is a spawn point. Drop a marker 2D into your scene wherever you want things to appear, then read its global position. Your spawner doesn't hardcode coordinates, it just asks the marker. One gotcha that trips up everyone. Set global position after you add child, not before. Global position only makes sense once the node is actually in the tree. Add it first, then place it. Do it in that order, and your objects land exactly where the marker sits. Spawning one enemy is nice. A real game spawns a stream of them. That's a job for a timer node and a little randomness. Add a timer as a child of your spawner. In ready, connect its timeout signal to a spawn function, and start it. Now, every time the timer fires, you instance one enemy and drop it in. To spread them out, use rand_range. It returns a random float between a low and a high value. Feed that into the enemy's X position, and each one appears at a fresh spot along the top of the screen. 2 quick timer settings to know. Wait time is the seconds between fires. And if you tick auto start in the inspector, you don't even need to call start yourself, it runs the moment the scene loads. Waves are just this with a knob. Keep a wave counter, and every few seconds shorten the timer's wait time. The spawns come faster, the pressure ramps, and you didn't write a single new system. Same 4-line spawn, wrapped in a timer. Bullets are the same pattern with one twist, they need a direction. You spawn them from the player, but they have to fly the way the player is facing. Start with a marker 2D called muzzle, parented to the player, sitting right at the barrel. When the shoot button is pressed, instantiate the bullet, and set its global position to the muzzle's global position. It's born exactly at the gun. Here's the twist. Add the bullet to the current scene, not to the player. If you make it a child of the player, it drags along as the player moves, you want it flying free. For direction, take vector 2 right and rotate it by the player's rotation. That gives you a unit vector pointing wherever the player aims. Hand that to the bullet, and every frame it moves along that vector. Point, shoot, spawn, bullets that actually go where you're looking. And don't forget to clean up. A bullet that flies off screen and never dies is a slow memory leak. The easy fix is a visible on-screen notifier 2D, when the bullet leaves the view, it calls queue free and removes itself. Spawn it, fly it, free it. One last idea, because at some point spawning will bite you. A bullet hell game spawns and frees hundreds of objects a second. All that creating and destroying churns memory, and can stutter your frame rate. The fix is object pooling. Instead of spawning a fresh bullet and freeing it on every shot, you pre-make a fixed batch, say 50, once, hide them, and keep them in an array. To fire, you grab a hidden one, show it, and reposition it. When it's done, you hide it again instead of freeing it. Same objects, reused forever. No allocation churn, no garbage spikes, a smooth frame rate even under heavy fire. It's the exact same preload and instantiate pattern, you just do it up front, in a loop, and recycle. When your spawner starts to stutter, this is the upgrade. But start simple. Pool only when you feel the pain. And that's how you spawn objects in Godot 4. Preload the scene, instantiate a copy, set its position, add child, the 4 lines behind enemies, bullets, coins, and everything else you'll ever spawn. Wrap it in a timer for waves, add a direction for bullets, and reach for object pooling when things get heavy. Here's your next move. Don't stop while it's fresh. Your next watch is lined up, Godot 4 top-down movement, so those spawned enemies actually chase the player. And the game dev starter kit has this spawn pattern plus 50 more copy-paste snippets. Link below. Subscribe for more Godot builds. Now go spawn something. See you in the next one.